That Nintendo Direct was wild, wacky, and yeah, a little awkward, but hey, that's just what we all love about Nintendo. And while this wasn't my favorite Direct, I still think that honor most likely goes to the February one, the one where they just dropped Metroid Prime Remaster and Game Boy and Game Boy Advance on us like a ton of delicious bricks. And even though not every game announced was for me, the Direct as a whole was still filled to the brim with quality content, DLC, release dates with gameplay, and some really, really great surprises. So today, let's go over the 7 games announced that has gotten me the most hyped, due to release later this year and early 2024. Starting out, we have Sonic Superstars, and this game looks so good. I love me some 2D platformers, and Sonic is one of the best out there. I didn't grow up with Sega, I had the SNES. Going over to my friend Alex's place and playing Sonic 1 and 2 just blew my little mind, making Sonic to this day one of my favorite 2D platformers. And the graphics in Superstars look incredible. The game's mechanics seem fast and fluid, just what you would want from a Sonic game. And the fact that you can now play co-op up to 4 players as Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy Rose is also really cool. This game will fit perfectly on the Switch, and I'll definitely be checking it out as soon as it comes out in fall of 2023. And this next game is absolutely insane that it's actually happening. It's one of my favorite RPGs of all time, and the fact that it's actually coming to the Switch as a remake just blows my mind. I was so stoked to see this game announced that I really couldn't even believe it. Super Mario RPG is strangely enough one of the greatest RPGs ever made, and definitely one of my all-time favorites. As a seemingly ridiculous collaboration between Squaresoft, the name back in the day in terms of god-tier RPGs in the 90s, and Nintendo. That's right, not Square Enix, but Squaresoft. Back in the early 90s, when squares were soft and flaccid, and we had to walk to our local video rental stores uphill both ways in the snow. This had absolutely no reason on paper to work, but went on to redefine what was possible and expected from traditional turn-based RPGs going forward. This game is just so well polished, with some awesome turn-based RPG combat, over-the-top environments and characters, and a really great soundtrack. And also just happens to be one of the main inspirations for another one of my most anticipated indie RPGs coming up in August, Sea of Stars. The Super Mario RPG remake looks absolutely gorgeous, with the overhaul and modernization in the visuals and graphics. And I just cannot wait to play this. Hands down, a day one purchase for me, and even though we still haven't gotten Chrono Trigger for the Switch, which is my favorite game of all time, this is definitely a close second. Super Mario RPG Remake will be releasing November 17th, 2023. Honestly, guys, I have never been that big into comics or superheroes in general, but I do love me some Batman games, especially the Arkham trilogy. That's because these games are some of the best third-person, narrative-driven action-adventure games to come out of the PS3 and PS4 era. Some excellent game mechanics and features, gritty visuals, and a really good story arc. These games are absolutely a must-play. I am super excited that they're finally being brought over to the Switch, because playing these games all over again, especially in handheld mode, is going to be such an awesome experience. Yeah, my only concern is the performance, especially of Arkham Knight, being that it was a PS4 game, but we'll find out when it releases here in the fall of 2023. Alright guys, so in my opinion, the Metal Gear series is the greatest video game series of all time. What Hideo Kojima and his team were able to do in terms of storytelling, gameplay, and music is nothing short of phenomenal. These games are just so much fun, with a heavy use of stealth, yet seamlessly breaking out into some great action if and when you do get discovered by an enemy or that pesky security camera. Great use of different weapons and devices that you acquire is also fantastic, and with some super memorable supporting characters and bosses. While Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty is of course also fantastic, Metal Gear Solid 3 still holds up, along with Metal Gear Solid 1, as one of the greatest games that I have ever played. With this Master Collection, you get a digital art book, strategy guides, art and info on the characters, and the NES games that started it all and still hold up today. This will also, of course, be another day one purchase for me, coming out October 24th of 2023. And for a new game that completely took me by surprise was Penny's Big Breakaway. This is a new game coming to us from the team that made Sonic Mania, so you know that this game has a great chance of being something special. A bright and colorful 3D platformer as you run around and traverse the environment as Penny and her companion, Yo-Yo. Gives me some really big 2000s 3D platformer vibes, which I absolutely love. Talking about Banjo-Kazooie, Gex, Enter the Gecko, and of course, the Spyro games. As you jump over and break through different obstacles, battling some very sinister penguins, all contained in this beautiful world. I'll definitely be checking this one out come early 2024. JRPG fans on the Switch have been eating so good this past year, and really the past couple of years. This game, Star Ocean, the Second Story remake, just gonna make that even better. Square Enix has absolutely been crushing it lately when it comes to remakes and remasters of classic titles, and this one in particular looks to be something really special. Star Ocean's second story first released for the PS1 all the way back in 1998, which is when I first played it. It is a super good JRPG, blending sci-fi and medieval elements together very well. The game looked absolutely fantastic back then, but this time around with this full-on remake, Star Ocean's second story looks absolutely stunning, with its HD 2D character models and what seems to be a 3D environment. Star Ocean games, for whatever reason, don't ever really get the love that they truly deserve, and I am just so happy that second story, possibly the best one in the series, is finally getting released. And if you are a JRPG fan, definitely do yourself a favor and check this game out when it releases November 2nd of 2023. Then to finish the show out, we of course got a brand new 2D Super Mario Bros. Game called Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Or maybe a better title would be Super Mario Bros. Peyote? Because this game just looks absolutely weird as hell, and I am down for it, Nintendo. From talking flowers to new enemies and gameplay mechanics, such as Mario strapping on his soap shoes and grinding a rail, all the way to the new Wonder Flower power-up that completely changes the world around you. And I am really glad that they went with a 2D Mario, as how even though, of course, the 3D Mario games are great, I've always preferred the 2D side-scrolling ones the best. And with everything they seem to have done to change the standard gameplay loop up a bit, with adding use of multiple characters, all the way to a new power-up where Mario changes into an adorable little elephant. Kind of reminds me of my chubby little gray cat Grig. I'll definitely be picking this one up when it drops in October 20th of 2023. And guys, with all that said, I really didn't go into this direct with too many expectations. I actually figured it would be pretty mediocre, but I am so glad I was wrong. Nintendo really brought the quality here and was pretty light on the filler. And even though, of course, we didn't get anything about Metroid Prime 4, surprise, surprise, or anything Zelda, Wind Waker, or Twilight Princess related, we still got a lot of great games to look forward to for the rest of this year and early 2024. And even though a lot of the games that I was excited for were remakes and ports from other systems, such as Super Mario RPG, Batman Arkham Trilogy, Metal Gear Solid Master Collection, and Star Ocean The Second Story, Nintendo chose some incredible games to breathe fresh life into. And a couple of new games, such as the new Sonic and Super Mario Bros. Wonder, looks incredible as well. But hey, what do you guys think? What games were you the most excited for? And what did you think of this direct overall? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, go ahead and direct your finger over to that like and subscribe button. Most importantly, guys, have yourself a great day. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video.